Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is another Borrasca Monday. We're back. We're thriving. So yeah, we're gonna listen to episode 5 of Borrasca, and it's called That's Not What You Told Me. So I'm very excited. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you like this video. Comment what you want to see next for my Riverdale content that goes up on Wednesdays. And yeah, I think that's it. And follow me on all my other social medias. I want to talk about a few things before we start. So I'm going to put a little timestamp right here for when you want to just get to the video. I want to talk about what happened on Thursday with my pilot video. I promised that my pilot reaction video was going to go up, and it did. Except it was totally blocked by YouTube. I was not allowed to post it. So it was copyrighted. I think I used too much scenes from the pilot, and I actually had it on the screen. So I'm gonna go back in and re-edit it and make it a little different than what I initially wanted it to be. So that's that. And then I just want to come on here and publicly stand with the 4 cast members that were accused of sexual assault yesterday on Twitter, and then the person who accused them then admitted that they lied. And I just want to say that it's the most disgusting thing ever. That takes away the opportunity and the strength for an actual survivor to speak up. And this person is selfish and idiotic and looking for attention, and in doing that ruined a lot of things. Could have ruined these 4 cast members' careers, first of all. Ruined any opportunity for an actual survivor to speak up about their sexual assault and be brave, be strong. They took that away from them. Because it was always, let's believe survivors. We always believe survivors. And then you create a Twitter account with no picture and some random Twitter handle just to accuse 4 cast members of sexual assault and rape? No. That's disgusting. So, if you are someone who has survived sexual assault, I stand with you. I feel for you. And my DMs are always open if you need to talk to a third party. Like, I'm here. But don't lie. That's lying about that is one of the worst things ever. Just don't. Boop. All right, we're back. Let's listen to Borrasca. Okay, I just listened to the episode, and it was so good. There are, oh god, we find out a lot of information. I cannot wait for next week's episode. Next week's episode, a lot of stuff is gonna come out, and I can't wait. Okay, so let's go right into this. So we know Sam was going into therapy the following day from last week's episode, right? So now he's in there. He got tested for his urine again, and it's just like the traces of weed. So it was fine because it won't get out of your system for a few days. So they continue right where they left off when they got into the accident, right? So he was driving, and then Kyle and Kimber were in the car. So then, and the reason why she had to like stop early was because her daughter had something. So Sam asked her about her daughter, and she was like taken, like, she was caught off guard. She was like, oh, yeah, like, thank you for asking. And he goes, anybody would. So that was like, we're seeing a different side of Sam now. He really trusts Leah, which is nice, I think. So then then we get into probably one of my, like, literally right off the bat, we get into, like, one of my favorite moments, and just the character development of Sam. And so I'm going to insert my live. I actually paused the episode and had to talk it out right away because I couldn't write fast enough. So I'm going to insert that right here.
If you think talking about this will drive you to relapse, I will respect it if you want to stop. Sam.
No.
No?
I don't want to stop.
Hold on. Oh, I need to pause, and that... Whoa. We're a minute in, and that is, like, the best piece of, like, dialogue that the podcast had ever put on. I would usually save my commentary for after, but I need to put this in now. Like, the fact that Leah is like, if you're gonna relapse, we could stop talking about this. Like, that's more important than me finding out your story. And Sam's like, no, I want to talk about it. Like, that's the first time he's, like, wanting to talk about it. Like, first he joked about it and said that he wants to get it over with, but now he, like, actually wants to talk about it. That, whoa, character development. It's a lot for Catherine. It's a lot. Okay, we're back. Okay, so I like freaked out. I was like, oh my god, as you can see. So I think it was really nice of Leah to be like, if you want to stop, we can stop. You know, we don't want you relapsing. That's not what this is about. Like, that's more important, which I mentioned before. And she goes, why do you want to keep going? And he goes, honestly, I want to see if you believe me. She goes, of course I'll believe you. I promised you that. And he goes, that's a heavy promise, meaning it could end, like, seeing that it could end anyway. And she goes, well, if it doesn't end, there's something about, like, lizard in the White House or something like that. You know, she goes, if it doesn't end like that, then I'll believe you. If it does, then, you know. And then he admits, he goes, I need you to believe me. He goes, I need that. And I was like, whoa, Sam, you're, like, growing as a person, and I'm really proud of you. Then we hear that he's in the hospital, like, and you hear two people talking about a letter, and you're like, what? Wait, what? So then Sam wakes up once his dad gets there, and he had the worst injury. So he had the whole rotator cuff thing they mentioned last week, and then Kimber and Sam, as that his dad is telling him, didn't stop, like, just scrapes and bruises. Sam thinks it was a drunk driver in a pickup truck, and then his dad is, like, interrogating him, like, what were you doing? He goes, we weren't drinking. He goes, I know, all your blood levels came back with nothing. And then he goes, where's Kyle and Kimber? And he goes, they're fine. And he goes, okay. And then Kyle comes into the room, and it's like, dude, like, we need to talk. And he goes, what is it? Is it about Kimber? And he goes, yeah. And then his dad's like, I told you Kimber was fine. And then Kyle's like, what? Like, no, she's not. She's, like, the farthest thing from fine. So Sam's dad leaves, and then the two of them talk. And then we find out that the reason why they were on their way to the hospital anyway, because they got a call about Kimber's mom in the hospital. And then we find out, and I'm going to put a little clip here.
We were actually headed here. She got a call that her mom was in the hospital.
I know.
What happened?
Sam, she
Like, kills herself.
If Kimber's mom is here, why is she at home with her dad?
She isn't.
She's not with her dad?
Not Kimber. Her mom isn't here. I mean, although technically, I mean, I guess she is.
What? Just tell me what the hell is going on.
Kimber's mom killed herself
Knew it.
yesterday.
I figured it out. I was like, oh my god, she kills herself. And that makes sense with the letter. Except they didn't find one at the scene, but he overheard the cops saying it. So I was like, ooh, this is gonna come back. So she like made the house really nice, and then she drove to the hospital, went to the roof, and jumped off. And they said it was like 6 stories. She was awake to tell the person who found her that she was sorry. And then instantly they were like something is up. Like, Kyle thinks it's not at all coincidental that they got into a car accident, her mom killed herself, like, right away. So they're going back and forth, you know, we have to give Kimber space a little bit, like, she'll talk to us when she's ready. So then Sam's dad comes back in and is like, all right, Kyle, enough, go. And he goes, I need to go see Kimber anyway, like, if her dad will let me in. And after that, they get to the house. Like, we see them a few days later, and they're at the house now. And his mom set up, the bed on the couch, and he goes, it's just my shoulder, I'm fine, you know? So he goes, what am I going to do without my car? He goes, I have school, I have work. And he goes, oh, you can just take the sedan. And he goes, what sedan? And he goes, Whitney's car. And Sam's like, I'm going to put my reaction to that right here.
No, that's not what you told me. I specifically remember you saying you were sure Whitney ran away because she had taken her car with her. You said that.
No, Sam, I never said that. There may have been some confusion.
Well, if she didn't take her car, then how'd she get to St. Louis? I thought that was the whole basis of the runaway theory, Whitney's car being missing too.
Oh
So,
my
did
God.
Jay pick her up? Because I've talked to Jay a lot over the years, and Whitney isn't with him.
You called the Figueroa family?
Every year I call to see if he's heard from her.
Sam,
And he never has.
we're not going to do this morning.
Why not?
Because you're hopped up on pain pills.
That's a bullshit cop-out, Dad. She's your daughter. You should fucking care.
Don't you ever accuse me of not caring about my daughter.
I was, like, shocked, because I did the same thing Sam did. I was like, wait, you say that Whitney ran away. She needed her car to do that. So something is up, dude. So Sam caught his dad in the lie, and he confronted him about it, and his dad is still lying, and it's just like, no, like, I never said that. It's an open investigation still. And then we see Kyle and Sam the next day in school, or we hear them at school, and they're smoking, and now it's Whitney's car, but Sam's car, no, it's Sam's car, was Whitney's car. And, you know, they're skipping classes, they're smoking, like, because they can't stop thinking about Kimber. They want Kimber to be okay. And then they leave. I don't know if it's the next day or later that day that him and Emmeline are talking about going out one day. And she goes, oh, let's hang out, or let's go to this party. And he goes, I can't drink some on these drugs, which is true. And all this stuff. And he goes, maybe, like, we'll figure it out. And then she says, oh, look who's back, like, look who decided to come back. And then it was Kimber. So it was such a cute reunion between Sam and Kimber. I was like, aw, so cute. And he's comforting her. He skips his next class so that way he could be with her. And then, like, Kimber and Kyle's reunion is so cute. He lifts her up. He's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love. It was very cute. And then the three of them are sitting there talking, and Kimber thinks that Kimber's dad is not, like, talking to her and is very distant with her. So she thinks that her dad blames Kimber for Megan, her mom's death. She's so upset. She goes, she didn't say goodbye. She didn't leave me a note. Like, she was very inconsiderate. And Sam is like, and Kyle says, Sam, we have to tell her. And she goes, tell me what letter? Like, they mentioned the letter beforehand. And Sam says, I think I overheard two officers when I was coming awake from the morphine, like, mention a letter. So she thinks her dad has it. Like, so what he says the officer said was they saw it in Kimber's room, and then when they went back, it was gone. So now Kimber thinks that her dad has it in his study. So Kimber comes up with a plan to get into her dad's study. Like, her and Kyle are gonna leave the funeral and go to the study and try and find the letter. And Sam is gonna stay at the funeral to keep watch and, like, text them, like, oh, he's getting suspicious, you know. Then we get back to Sam's house, and his dad is like, yeah, her car smells like weed now, like, and then so he confronts him about the weed, and he goes, just don't do it, because I can't turn my eye against you and then not the rest of the kids that are smoking weed. So then Sam does probably one of the stupidest things. I was like, but we got a lot of information from it, so I'm kind of thankful. Sam confronts his dad about this said letter, and his dad is like, I don't think there was a letter, but I'll ask them tomorrow. And then we get all this information about how Megan, Kimber's mom, was depressed for most of her adult life, and it had to do with her not being able to get pregnant. Which, like, my heart goes out to those women who deal with that. It's probably one of my biggest fears. It's hard. I know it's hard. So she got pregnant with Kimber through, like, IVF and fertility treatments. That's what I was looking for. Then, a few years later, after Kimber was born, she wanted another kid, but she didn't want to go through the fertility treatments again, and she couldn't get pregnant. And so she stopped, and so she got, like, really depressed. So, but then she stopped her going to see her therapist, and she stopped her pills, and it's like, that's a downward spiral. She killed herself, and his dad is like, maybe the reason why her dad took the letter was to protect Kimber. Like, maybe there's something in there that she shouldn't see, like, that she'll, like, then blame herself. And I loved this little interaction. Sam's dad goes, protect her, and Sam goes, I always do, Dad. And I was like, like, it's so cute. And then right after that, we hear a scream. Sam thinks it's a scream. His dad is not so sure. So he calls Kyle, and he's like, Kimber's fine. It's not Kimber. She's here. Like, I spoke to her, and thank God. And then Sam is like, that's it. There is no more coincidence about this. Like, they got run off the road the same night that Megan killed herself, and then 5 days later, they hear a scream. Like, someone's after them. So Sam thinks it was a murder, like, same thing along with, like, Whitney. Like, how Whitney disappeared, got killed. You know, the usual. And Kyle, like, goes off on him. He goes, dude, now it's not the time. He goes, I want to find out what happened to Whitney. I want to find out what happened with all this stuff, but we need to be there for Kimber right now. Can we hold off on a few weeks, like a month? And Sam's like, sure, yeah, like, you're right. They hang up because Kyle's gonna go see Kimber, and Sam is like, fuck it, I have to go. Like, I need to see. And then we're back in the therapy office, and Leah is like, where did you go? And he goes, I went to Ambercott to see the triple tree, to see what name was, if the name was on there, to see if Megan's name was on there, is what he said, because he thinks that how Megan died was due to the Borrasca scream. And he goes, and it wasn't. And he goes, so it was a legit suicide. He goes, yeah, it was. She really killed herself. We hear about him not being able to find a job, and Leah's really helping him with that, you know, because it's hard for ex-convicts to get a job. So he's really trying, and she's trying to help him, which is nice. Like, she goes, how about next week, like, to go see them, like, for them to talk again. And he goes, yeah, you know, my schedule's open. And she says something about, but somehow it comes up about how he missed a name on the tree. And he didn't notice that he missed it until a few weeks later when he went back. And then he noticed this name. And she goes, whose name was it? And he goes, you know whose name it is. We'll be with my theories in a minute. And then we're back at his apartment with his roommate, Eric. And, you know, they're drinking. And he says, this girl keeps coming. And he goes, who? Like, I saw her again. Who is this? And Sam is like, it's this girl, Tara. It's so-and-so's girl about, like, drug dealing and stuff like that. Like, they want to get Sam back into drug dealing. And Eric's like, no, you can't do that. That's, like, your one-way ticket back to prison. And Sam goes, maybe I should just do it. He goes, like, I should go back. And Eric's like, why? He goes, because if I don't, I'm gonna die. Like, he goes, the only way for me to get clean is to be locked in a room without heroin. And he goes, or a cell. And he goes, it's still a room. And he goes, besides, like, it wouldn't be the worst. Like, people know me in there. And he was like, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing for me to go to jail for, is drug dealing. And Eric's like, what, did you kill someone? And Sam goes, no, but I might have gotten someone killed. I'm just like, what? Eric asked about if it was helping, and he goes, like, it was. It's nice to talk to someone. He asked, like, until I have to keep doing this until I get to the end of the story. And Eric's like, what is the end of the story? And he goes, horrific shit. And I was like, damn. And then, so he keeps drinking, and Eric's like, oh, you really remember everything? He goes, not when I'm drunk. And he starts, like, getting disoriented, and he starts to pass out, and he says, don't let me see her. And then we hear, I guess in like a dream or something, we hear someone scream, Kyle. And that's how the episode ended. It was such a good episode. We got a lot of information. So now we're going to talk about my theories. Yeah, so they already know that Whitney's name was carved on the tree. So that's why I think the name that was actually there was Kimber. I honestly think so. I don't know. That I'm going to stick with it. So that means that that Kimber is not the girl that keeps coming, unless they don't actually die, and unless that's, but also could be Hussein got killed. Like, it's crazy. And I think in a stream we hear Kimber scream Kyle. But I'm so excited for next week. Next week is going to be so good. I can't wait. All right. That brings us to the end of our video. The end of episode 5. So we have 3 more. It's really flying by, which I'm gonna be so sad when this is over because it's so good. So this week on Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing my top 10 season 3 episodes. This one was actually the hardest for me to do, with season 3. Just because I knew like my top 3, and then it was like everything else like falling in was hard. And I'm gonna try and re-edit my video and try to see if I can put it up on Thursday. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out something else for Throwback Thursdays. So I'm really sorry once again about all that. But before you go, make sure you are subscribing to my channel, you like this video, and you comment on it, your thoughts on the episode, because I thought this episode was amazing. And I want to hear your theories about what happened to Megan, what happened to Kimber's mom, what happened to Kimber, whose name was on the tree. I want to hear all your theories. And then maybe we could throw in a little video before the last one of like some theories. And then make sure you follow me on Twitter. It is all listed down below and at the end, along with Instagram. Remember, I have 2 Instagrams. Whichever gets there to talk to me, I'm there on both. So I think that's it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday with some Riverdale content. But until then, make sure you stay weird, Riverheads.